everyone. Welcome to the wrap-up. Nick Buckler, Dan Myers with you. As always, Dan, it was a fun-filled week in sports. Detroit sports, that is. Couple of drafts, NBA, NHL, and more importantly, the Tigers. No draft. Well, there was a draft last week, but they're on a tear. Just kidding, they suck. Dan, they're 0-9 against the Cleveland Indians coming off of a weekend sweep at Comerica Park, the comfy confines. What's wrong with this team, and why can't they beat the first-place Indians now, 6 games back?
Well, I think it all starts with the pitching, especially the bullpen. That's obviously been an issue. That's been a crutch for countless seasons. We do have some timely hitting, but when you can't shut it down at the end of the game, the hitting does nothing for you.
Yeah, now, not to mention J.D. Martinez out of the lineup. He's still probably 4 weeks away from realistically coming back. Castellanos has cooled off. He's still hitting 300, which is good. Aviles is starting to perk up a little bit. He had a home run on Sunday. He's up to 230, which is great considering he was at about $110 for a long time. McCann's starting to have some pop in his bat as well. But it's just the big men aren't getting it done in the clutch. Victor Martinez is popping the ball out of the yard, but they're solo shots, so it's not timely. Miguel Cabrera's dipped under 300. It's just, and that the offense isn't even the problem. Your starting pitching's been abysmal of late. It's so bad they've brought Anibal Sanchez back into the rotation to pitch on Saturday in a 6-0 loss where your team only mustered up 4 hits. And then Daniel Norris did pitch all right in his first outing. Michael Fulmer obviously has been good. Zimmerman's coming off of his worst start of the year. That was the game that they were supposed to have Friday night. Coming off of a 4-game sweep at home to Seattle, that was good to see. However, they come back in games they got to win 2 out of 3 just to keep pace in the division, and they don't. Now they're 7 games out after the 3-game sweep to Cleveland. And Jordan Zimmerman goes 3 2/3, allows 7 runs in his outing Friday, and then Justin Verlander, your ace, on Sunday, gives up 4 home runs in 1 inning. Doesn't even survive the 5th. He didn't survive the 5th inning. 4 2/3. 8 earned runs. When is it going to end?
Yeah, and I think that's what...
And hold on.
Okay.
Sorry. My apologies. I've talked to people who think Justin Verlander needs to be on this all-star team. Open your eyes. Whatever you're on, you need to pass some of that right here to the desk because we need some of that. His ERA is 4.23, and his record is pretty bad. I don't care if he had a couple good outings in a row. He should not be an all-star. Zimmerman should not be an all-star. If you want, I'll give you 2 pitchers on this team that could possibly be an all-star. 1, Michael Fulmer. 2, K-Rod.
Yeah.
He's been all right. His ERA is a little elevated, but he's all right. Blown 2 saves, only blown 1 since opening day. That's pretty good. He's been pretty automatic, getting these 1, 2, 3 innings now more so than earlier in the year, and that's why his ERA is elevated. He would give up a couple runs earlier in the year, but he'd still get the job done. And people want to complain about a closer in Detroit. All they want, Papa Grande, 49 for 49 one year, and people still hated him. What more do you want from a guy? Let's be honest.
Right.
K-Rod's not the problem. Starting pitching and middle relief has been just terrible.
Right. Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah, and what you're saying before is, these automatic win games that should be a given, that's pretty much non-existent. We've learned to accept that. You never know what to expect from these teams, especially teams like Cleveland coming in, or just even Minnesota. They're supposed to be an easy win, easy chalk one up for another win. But it seems like we find a way to struggle. And we've said this before about other Detroit teams, but this definitely, I feel like it's the way to handle things in town is you play to your opponent. You don't play to what you're capable of, and that's a big problem, especially when you don't have your stars showing up, whether it's relief pitching, the batter, or the hitting and stuff like that. So. You're absolutely right, and I really can't understand. He's all right, but he does not deserve a spot in the All-Star team in regards to Justin Verlander.
Oh, right.
Absolutely not.
Your standards are much too low, my friend. Come see, come sigh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. No. For a guy who's making the kind of chalk, cheese, cheddar, bacon, stacks, green, cabbage that he's making,
yeah,
4.23. Hey, that's not good on any team. I don't even think the Phillies would be okay with that. And they're terrible. The Utica Unicorns wouldn't put up with that. The Tigers will. You bet your bottom dollar. You know, if you want subpar, folks, come on down. Comerica Park, Brush Street. We got just what the doctor ordered. Subpar baseball, my friends. Ausmus, oh, he's great. Bring him down. Jim Leland, no, we don't want him. Oh, Ron Gardner's available. No. Give me that Brad Ausmus. Give me that subparness. Give me that JV4 ERA. Give me that Zimmerman. Go, hey, Annabelle, you're terrible. We kicked you off the rotation. Hey, we need you back, buddy. Remember us, pal? Yeah,
Don't
you
forget
want to
about
pitch
us.
for us? Oh, Pelfrey, oh, you're garb too. Hit the bullpen. Oh, you did great in your first bullpen stint. 3 innings, perfect. Oh, okay. Come on back to the rotation. Oh, remember me, old pal, buddy boy? No. No. Something needs to be done. I don't know what it is, but something has got to be done. And I think it starts at the top with your boy, Brad Ausmus. All right, people? You're not paid to be a friend of the player. Hey, Miggy, hey, V. Mardo, hey, Castellan, baby, what's up? Oh, JV, we'll go to the bar, it'll be good. No. Light a fire. I mean, apparently after the game Sunday, the media was not allowed in for 45 minutes, and apparently that's long. Do I think Brad Ausmus was tearing his team a new one? No. He's probably inviting him to his pool party next week.
Well, even if that's the case, I think it's a little that team's pretty much lost if you're trying to turn the ship around right now. But being a tough coach, I don't think you have
He's
much
not
to
tough.
offer. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, who knows what's
Someone's
going on?
got to call the chiropractor because
I-
this guy, he needs a backbone. All right, let's be honest. The Backbone Store, I don't know, about 6 foot. Yeah, it can have a little arch to it. It's a little scoliosis, that's fine. This guy doesn't even have one to work with. Yeah, yeah, he just needs a backbone, a spine. Yeah, okay. All right, it'll be in a year, so we'll just keep him until it comes in. Back to you.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We got to get you in there. I think just maybe a guest speaker or something like that. Get Nick in there, and he'd light some fires because.
Yeah, someone would light my house on fire. Let's be honest. Oh, man.
And they might even sign you for an extended contract that's way beyond what you need. So.
They may. That's what they do. Detroit sports teams. Oh, you're 39 and you had a good year 5 years ago? Let's give him a 10-year extension.
Yeah.
I thought that was done when Butchin left. I'm sorry, Dombrowski. No, Al Avila. I'm shocked he didn't bring his kid back. That guy,
Give
by
it
the way,
time. We still got time.
he's hitting 240. It's better than a catcher. It's better than our catchers combined, to be honest. McCann just hit the Mendoza line last week, probably quick to get. And Salty, let's put him in at first base. We need his bat in the lineup. Oh, he's hitting 177. Yeah, we need that. Slight a spark. He could run into one. All right. He hasn't run into one since April 21st. He could run into one. He's having a post 420, meltdown.
Yeah.
Someone get him the cabbage, the other kind. Let's be honest. I mean, they're 0-9 against Cleveland. You have to beat teams in your division, especially the ones ahead of you. And Cleveland, to be frank, isn't that good of a team. I mean, they're 13 games over 500. That's the most they've been over 500 since 2013, September.
Yeah.
Look up and down that order. They don't even have Michael Brantley, their best hitter. The kid Lindor has been great. Mike Napoli has been a Tiger killer his whole career. Santana's terrible against the Tigers. I mean, who else do they have? Kipnis is nothing that he used to be. They have 2 players. Apparently that's more than us. Lindor's been good. And you know what I didn't like? I was watching a little bit of that game Sunday before the debacle of Justin Verlander unfolded. It's just the arrogance. I mean, I hate Cleveland. Talk about a mistake. And guess where it's by the lake? Mistake by the lake, y'all.
There it is.
LeBron, we won the title. And now we're the Indians, dude. We're the Indians. We can smile and taunt people after we get infield hits. We're tough. We're Cleveland. We are Cleveland.
Cleveland strong.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Believeland.
I got a message for all you Lake Erie rats, all right? I don't care. The Cavs are garbage. You know why they won? LeBron. They didn't win because of your team. Guess what? Before LeBron came, do you remember what place you were in the whole Eastern Conference? Dan, do you remember? Oh, last. Last place. Remember when you burned LeBron jerseys? Oh, he's dead to us. Oh, LeBron, come back. Come back. We won the title. We're Cleveland. We're Cleveland. We're a hood. Great. Congrats. Oh, the Browns. Johnny Manziel. He's strong. He's good. Johnny Football. No, I got news for you. He's in prison. And 90% of you should be too. Okay, let me tell you, the Browns are garbage. They shouldn't even be in the league. And I know that's saying a lot because we're Lions fans. Terrible. Oh, and the Indians. You guys are terrible. I don't even know what to say to you. I mean, you kill the Tigers.
Can't say much right now.
Oh, I'll say it.
He's going to say it.
The Tigers are worse than the Indians. But you know why I don't like the Indians? Because they're from Cleveland. That's why. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. And going back to the Cavaliers, between LeBron and Kyrie Irving, that was just a powerhouse going. Does LeBron stay, though? I know I'm sort of. You think he's going?
I think he stays. And let me tell you why.
You don't think he's going to LA?
Stay. I trust LeBron's word.
Try saying that with a straight face.
No, I mean I don't think he's going to go anywhere. Give it a year or so, maybe, when these guys want to get their powerhouse team. Melo wants to play on a team. D Wade wants to. They're all going to get their boys to play. Frankly, I don't think that team will be that good.
No.
Because, I mean, they're all going to be old.
Yeah.
Unless they all go to Cleveland. Kevin Love, Kyrie, LeBron, D Wade, Carmezi, Darko. I'm sorry.
That's still
Remember that draft? LeBron, Darko, Carmelo, Chris Bosh, D Wade. Something's wrong with this picture. Oh yeah.
What doesn't
that's
fit?
Darko Milicic.
Yeah.
Coming over from Serbia, Montenegro.
How's he doing?
Oh, he's in MMA.
I thought he parked your car at Somerset last week.
Oh no, that was
his brother. Okay.
No, that was Zelko Rebrachin.
Okay.
Remember him? He was in the Rasheed Wallace trade. Hey, guess what? We're gonna head out for a quick. Can't even talk. See him flustered about Cleveland. We're gonna go tell Cleveland how great they are. We'll be right back.
If ever there's a reason to be swept up in the season of the falling rains, and if the days grew shorter and the darkness drew its order from the autumn gray.
Hey folks, welcome back. That was a great trip we just had. It was real quick,
Yeah.
about 54 seconds.
Enough to yell outside in Cleveland's direction
The
for them to probably.
smog from Cleveland overtook me. It was rough. But you know what wasn't rough for the first time in a while was Ken Holland. Kenny Holland might have been the winner of the draft. He's got his swagger back, my friends. Kenny, I think he took advantage of a 27-year-old GM in the NHL. The NHL draft was last week in Buffalo. Red Wings selecting 16th overall. Red Wings, you're on the clock. The clock runs down to 0. Gary Bettman comes out to a sea of booze and says, there has been a trade. And right then I go, yeah, let's go. They trade the Arizona Coyotes the rights to Pavel Datsyuk and the 16th overall pick. In exchange, the Red Wings get free cap space, no $7.5 million of Pavel Datsyuk, and they get the 20th overall pick in the draft. So they literally just move down 4 spots in the draft. They get an additional 53rd overall pick, a second-round pick, and Joe Vitale, who will be on the long-term IR, won't play this year. But let's see, you want the $1.1 million or the 7.5? And on long-term IR, your salary doesn't count against the cap. So, where do I sign? Done. Great move. Arizona really wanted Jacob Chychrun, and he was at one time a top 5 prospect. What did the Red Wings let this one get away? I don't care. That's a gamble. What's not a gamble is the big fish in the free agent market, and that's Steven Stamkos. Proven. 312 goals. 26 years old. Leader. Captain. I mean, the list goes on. 4-time All-Star. I mean, he's great. Right-handed shot. Fast. Great shot. Did I say leader? Can play the power play? Point on the power play as well. I mean, this is huge. Now, mind you, there's still some teams in the mix. New York, Philly, Buffalo, Toronto, and obviously Tampa if they want to keep him, but it's not looking like they're gonna. So, the draft, the great trade. Anaheim Ducks general manager Bob Murray said the winner of this draft was Ken Holland.
Clearly, yep.
And the Red Wings proved this is going to be the best offseason since the 01-02 when they signed Brett Hull, Dominic Hasek, Luc Robitaille, Frederick Olsson. I mean, you could land, arguably, a couple big pieces here, and they still want to move Jimmy Howard, and they already said after the draft that they're going to trade for a top 4 defenseman. They will trade for a top 4 defenseman. Dan, it looks like you're not going to have to eat the soap because it doesn't look like it's going to be PK Subban, but
Too bad.
I would like to give you another 2 guys that if they are able to get via trade, you can eat something a little less than soap, but I still want to see a little something. How about Cam Fowler from Anaheim or Kevin Shattenkirk from St. Louis?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be huge. You know, we need someone like that. But going back to Ken Holland, I think Faith has been
Fell short this time. Smile fades in the summer.
Blink-182 reference for those
Place your
youngins
hand
out
in
there.
mine. I'll leave when I want to.
Yeah, I think faith has been restored in Ken Holland. Nothing but positive optimism coming.
Vibes.
Yeah, vibes.
Just the smog in Detroit is a little clear
A little bit.
because the winged wheel is back and they're flying high.
That's great that he pulled it off, and that's just something that a seasoned manager can pull off like that. It was great to hear. We definitely won with that draft. That was huge. A big load off our back, so that's great. Those two players would be great. I was actually listening to a couple other radio stations, nationwide syndicated. Excuse me, I can't even talk today.
I would try to help you, but I have no idea what you're trying to say.
Yeah, but he was. They were talking
Nationwide
about
Arena?
nation, nationally syndicated radio programs. So no, there's whispers of Brandon Prust possibly getting looked at. Milan Lucic,
Okay.
he's a sand player type of player.
Kyle Okposo.
That would be huge. But either way, I just love to see some more grind. Grit
David
and grind.
Backes is out there as well. That'll be, and a guy who I think is under the radar, who played great this postseason with St. Louis, Troy Brouwer. Mm-hmm. That's grit. He can get timely goals. He's big. He's physical. Got a good shot. That would be huge as well.
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that in.
Yeah, and just taking advantage of our little guys. I mean, our rookies just got really pushed around this season. There was no need for that. Had we had someone like
Come
that,
on, Big Bad Abdelkader was there to get his face caved in.
he can only do so much.
He can't do anything.
Yeah,
He picks fights with the smallest guys out there, and he still gets his head concave.
but he's still fighting. It's unfortunately pretty sad. We need him to be more of a finesse player with some grit, but not too much. We need more
$4.2
finesse.
million, he better be a scorer.
Better be something. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But
Another one of those bad contracts. But all right, okay, I'm speaking a little prematurely here. He's still not bad yet. But Jonathan Erickson, Johan Franzen,
but
Jimmy Howard, sorry, forgot him.
You might run into Franzen at a concert.
You have.
He's been around the D.
Where did you see him?
I saw him at.
It was the Palace, right?
It wasn't the Palace.
No,
it
yeah,
was,
no. It was the light. There was
He
a-
was-
oh,
he
Muse.
was at the
No.
Palace.
Was it Muse?
He was at the Bieber show, unfortunately.
You
I
didn't
wasn't
see it.
there, but
Are
that
you
was on
sure?
social media. And
Sure, Dan Media.
But we.
No, what was the one with the lights? Was that Muse?
No, that wasn't Muse. Who was that? That was AWOL Nation, I believe.
No, they canceled.
KG Elephant. KG Elephant.
KG
That's where he was
AWOL
at.
Nation canceled. You're still a little sore about that.
I'm still a little sore about that. Yeah, but
Uh,
yeah, I ran into him in the atrium and was talking to him for a little bit. Sort of good
did he
spirits.
remember you?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him in training camp. Ooh, I know, right?
No.
But
he actually
watch your
watches
feet.
the
I'm dropping
show.
names over here, so one might fall on it.
97.1 reference. When
There
you
you go.
do your name drop, the siren blows. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We do that too.
Whoop.
But
I'm talking to my league people.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I
I-
was just being a caboose,
Yeah.
so to speak.
But I lost my train of thought. Where
Bro, we're talking about bad contracts.
Bad contracts,
You were tooting
definitely.
Franzen's horn a little bit.
Yeah.
You're talking to your league people.
Yeah.
How you know, boys, training camp. No, but you're talking about making a splash. And these guys, these names that they're getting, that they're looking at, Milan Lucic, Kyle Okposo. There's a good free agent class this year. And it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity when a guy like Steven Stamkos becomes an unrestricted free agent. He is a franchise player, and he's still only 26 years old. And he's proven to be a scorer in the league. He can be the franchise player for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
You offer him the max 7 years, and I'd go north of $10 million. Give him 10.5. I don't care. Your next highest paid guy right now is currently 6, and that's Henrik Zetterberg. Waste. Sorry, you had to give him that money. He was great in his prime. But he's washed. I would love to see Zetterberg move down to about the third line.
Yeah.
And if they make a trade, I would be willing to bet Nyquist or Tatar would be involved. Maybe a Yurko, and hopefully a Jimmy Howard. But with Las Vegas getting an NHL team next year, there's the expansion draft. And I want to touch on that. Each team can protect, because the expansion team will have a chance to look around and say, who do we want from these teams? They're going to compete their first year with the rules on this expansion draft. Each team, current team in the NHL, 30 of them, you can protect either 7 forwards, 3 defensemen and a goalie, or 10 skaters and a goalie, if you really like your decor, or if you want to protect all 10 forwards. So there's going to be some good players claimed. And I mean, you're going to have to think. Obviously, I would guess the Wings would protect Peter Mrazek over Jimmy Howard. But Jimmy Howard is a name that's going to get looked at if he is still on the team at that point. Mind you, the Wings still have not signed Peter Mrazek. He's a restricted free agent. They have not signed Timo Pulkkinen, who's a restricted free agent. They have not signed Danny DeKeyser, who's also a restricted free agent. The unrestricted free agents who they have not signed, Darren Helm and Drew Miller. So when that's all said and done, I'm expecting they sign Miller. Darren Helm, it's still a toss-up to me. For 2.1, I would not sign him.
Right.
I'd let him walk, go somewhere else. Maybe he can be more of a role player. No, the guy can't. He's fragile. He finally stayed healthy this year, but dude, give the dude a breakaway, and he can't even score on an empty net. I mean, it's bad. So he gets goals when they don't matter. But beyond that, after they sign the guys that they're going to sign, not the big names, they're going to probably have about $12 to $15 million left to spend. And then if they can move another contract, like maybe an Eriksson, or move a Jimmy Howard contract and make a little bit more room, I mean, obviously, you're probably going to still have to pay some of Jimmy Howard's. No one wants a $5 million goalie. I mean, I was thinking Calgary, but they went out in the draft, and they got Brian Elliott from St. Louis. Great pickup. I think Elliott's a great goaltender. So now Jake Allen, obviously, is a guy in St. Louis. But, I mean, there's still some goalies now becoming on the market. Steve Yzerman talked about his goalie situation. Said this year they're going to move a goalie, Ben Bishop and Andrei Vasilevsky. And it sounds like Bishop's going to be the one on the move. He's got 2 years left on his deal. $6.5 million. That's cheap for a guy like that. He is a freak. And with the emergence of Matt Murray in the Stanley Cup Finals in Pittsburgh, Marc-Andre Fleury becomes a name that could come out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the goalie, Jimmy Howard's name doesn't look so good when you're up against those guys. So, to me, it's going to be harder to move him, and they might get stuck with him this year. That's fine, as long as he plays his role. Don't be giving him, minutes in games because he's Jimmy Howard. I want to see Peter take this job and run with it. Go play 55, 60 games. That's fine, because Jimmy's serviceable enough where he can give you 20, 25 games. I just don't think it's going to be so lopsided.
Yeah. Well, that'd be, I'm just throwing this out there, but possibly would that be huge to grab one of those two goalies from Tampa with maybe a three-team deal, getting either Jimmy Howard to Tampa or giving Tampa Jimmy Howard to then give to the Las Vegas team. Who knows? I think that'd be huge. It'd be a good way to, make Tampa happy, make the Wings happy, and also make the Las Vegas team happy. And we'd all be getting Jimmy Howard out of there, and we won't have to worry about that contract. That'd be huge. Another thing I want to ask you about also is Zetterberg. How long do we think we have him for? If we could sign Stamkos, I think that'd be a great replacement for him.
Yeah, but right now I think that would be the replacement of Pavel Datsyuk.
Yeah.
Obviously, Henrik Zetterberg's still got a couple years left. I'd say he finishes the Joe, and I bet you he gives you 1 year at the new arena, and I bet he hangs it up at that point. Because they signed him, he was not 35. So he will not count against the cap if he still has years left when he decides to retire. And to be honest, I think 40 will be the next name that hangs. Yeah. Pending something crazy happening, 40 will go to the rafters. 13 will burn on the street corners of Detroit. I want to talk the draft itself real quick. At the number 20 pick, they took a defenseman, Dennis Cholowski. He just graduated high school. He played in the British Columbia Hockey League. And he's committed to St. Cloud State, where he will play 3 to 4 years before he even comes to the Red Wings organization. To me, that seems a little crazy. For a first-round pick, you're not even going to have him for another 3 years. So it's just kind of, and he's undersized. He's only 5'9", 175. Looks like he's a child. Well, he is. But, I mean, to me, I don't know how I feel about this pick. They come back in the second round, pick up another defenseman, then that forward, Giovanni Smith. This kid's a BA.
Yeah.
He's gritty, he's dirty, and he's going to bring another element to this team that we've never had before.
Right. And when I heard we picked him up and they start looking at the stats and pretty much the baseline of what he's all about, I did read something. He models his play after
Dwayne Simmons.
Yeah,
Wayne
Simmons.
Dwayne Wade, Dwayne Simmons, Wayne Gretzky.
And that's huge. I mean, if we could get a guy like Wayne Simmons on our team.
Oh, I hate Wayne Simmons, but would I love to have a guy like him on our team? Absolutely.
Yeah. So that would be huge. His stats were last season 23 goals, 19 assists. That's huge. That's a huge playmaker that the Wings could use. physical presence. It's definitely making the Wings a bigger, faster, stronger team. And he's got that size and that grit, and he's that sandpaper type of player that we need. I've been asking for every episode of this program. So if we can finally get him going, that would be huge. You know, he's not going to be an Athanasiou or a Mantha.
Or a Larkin.
Or a Larkin. But he is going to be one of those key players that we're going to need if we want to go far. If we want to go to the playoffs, let alone far in the playoffs.
I want to break it down. The Red Wings had 7 picks in the draft over the weekend. They took 4 defensemen, 2 forwards, and a goalie. So it's, hold on, breaking news coming in. Sorry, I have to enter. The Red Wings just signed one of their free agents that they had pending, unrestricted free agent. Drew Miller just signed a 1-year, $1.025 million contract just through the wire just now. So chalk that name right off and put that number to about $12 to $13 million left to spend right now. Drew Miller signed for another year. I really like that signing.
Yeah.
He's a good fourth-line guy, a good penalty killer. It was a shame when he got hurt right after coming back with that ACL. Really glad they signed him. But I think
we really missed him, too. I mean, he made a big
tell.
difference once he was gone, that they were really struggling.
And 4 defensemen, obviously, the Red Wings understand their need at defense. Kyle Quincy's going to walk, and obviously Brad Richards, but that's not defense. But now you got Mike Green, who I think is going to have a better year this year. Good puck-moving defenseman. That's what they need. Your best offense is a good defense. And they start the breakout, and no one could really break out of the zone. That's the good thing about Kindle is, man, could he move the puck?
Yeah.
Brendan Smith really emerged as that later as well. Now, guys love to hate Brendan Smith, but I think in a 5-6 or third pair, I think he's fine. You just can't have him playing, top minutes.
Right.
If you have him playing 15 to 20 minutes a game, that's fine. Danny DeKeyser, Nick Cronwall, Mike Green, and Brendan Smith. Those 4 guys, I think, are immovable.
Yeah,
right now,
absolutely.
Right now. Cronwall, I still put him there. He's still an alternate captain. Down year, I give him another chance. But there's 4. I think Eriksson is very movable. You know how I feel about him. So, I mean, if you can get one of these big-name guys and then maybe promote or keep a Marchenko or promote a guy like Ryan Sproul or Xavier Ouellet, I think that could be big for them and big for this team. Going to have to move on now, though, to basketball before we leave. Oh, hold on. Don't click away yet. Pistons draft was last week as well. They drafted Henry Ellenson from Marquette University. Freshman, 7-footer, can shoot the threes, a power forward. He averaged 17 points per game last year at Marquette, 9.7 rebounds and 2 assists. So those are good numbers. 18th overall selection to the Pistons. And then Michael Jabinajay from Syracuse. Don't know if I pronounced that right. Frankly, don't
Sounded
care.
good. Sounded good.
Sounded great. Sounded like I know what I'm talking about. He was a 3-year 3-year player at Syracuse, the Orange. 6'7", small forward, averaged 17.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Overall, I like the draft. Nothing crazy. Actually, I don't know if it's good or not, but seems legit. Sam Van Gundy's fired up about it. Fans are fired up about it. And good to get some shooters because the shooting percentage has been down. And Pistons announced they're going to move Jody Meeks as well.
Cool. Yeah, I wasn't crazy about the Ellison deal. Considering who we had to, choose from, I guess that was the best pick according to critics. I just see him as another Kyle Singler, not as good or as experienced as far as the talent he played against in college. And we got rid of Kyle Singler pretty quickly. So, with what we were dealt or what was available, I guess that's the best. So pick your poison, but. Maybe this guy can show some talent and eventually get him traded for possibly a combination package for a bigger player. But
yeah, you never.
He's not too bad. His numbers are okay, but I just see him as another Kyle Singler, like a JV version of a Kyle Singler.
But he's big, power forward, 7 foot.
Yeah.
Guess we'll have to see. Athanasiou, you later.
Nice.
Dan Myers, Nick Buckler, Deuce. Oh, that was close.